Good morning. So I just had I don't know. I've been having some strange experiences lately. Ever since I had like that Reiki healing session, I think I've posted a couple videos on here about just like, sorry, the sun is blinding me, so I'll just be a shadow. But I've been having some strange experiences in general. Um, and I think it has to do with like reconnecting my heart and my brain and my, uh, like intestinal system. Like the heart has an electrical sort of essentially like a synaptic system. It's essentially like a small brain, right? They're finding out that through the vagus nerve, the brain, the digestive tract, and intestines, the intestines process information on their own. The heart can process information on its own, and the brain obviously processes most information. But when the brain is overloaded, or even sometimes it'll just send packets of random stuff down to either the heart or the intestines through the vagus nerve, and it will wherever it goes, the heart or the intestines will process that information, and sometimes the heart and the intestines will communicate with each other to work things out, and then send the information back to your brain as organized packets of fires, synaptic firing. So it computes the information for you when your brain is either overloaded or doesn't think it can handle it. And I think because of my PTSD and stuff, I didn't realize that I had stopped, I don't know, communicating with my heart. I don't know if I ever actually did, like, realize that I could actually I mean, I could feel emotions, and I thought that was using my heart. But I have actually begun, like, talking with my heart. Like, it's like I do meditation and I communicate with my subconscious, but like my heart, I feel it in my chest. Like I actually feel my heart now. And like it's really weird. And I'm starting to get like gut feelings about things. They're like I used to get all the time, but like it's sort of shut down and it's much stronger, it feels, than it's been. But it's like I've had time to work things out in my mind, I think, like understanding, processing information, which I don't believe is truly important for spiritual work, but for me, it's first like just always been just part of like my personal journey. So, um, yeah, it's just amazing. And in all of this, I've opened up to the idea of a spirit guide. I've always believed in, so I believe that we can download conscious information through various ways, but the one that I understand the most is through our electromagnetic interactions with the Earth's electromagnetic field. We are constantly connected to, we're actually constantly plugged into this network of electromagnetic fields, that each person's field, every living thing has, every cell has an electromagnetic tag, frequency that is specific to it, and it exists before you're born. Those frequencies, that pattern exists, and your I don't know, your genetic information sort of tunes into it. But you're sort of loading information into that. Your entire lifetime is being recorded on, essentially, you think of it like a CD, or like one of those old big, black disc things. I forget what they're called, but like you're constantly recording vibrations as time moves on, and those vibrations are being gathered into, just like waves on a pond, they're being sort of like gathered into the ocean of the Earth's electromagnetic sphere and amplified, and that is being projected out into the heliosphere of the sun. And the heliosphere of the sun extends beyond the I think even like the belt of meteors around our solar system. And then beyond that, there's more electromagnetic currents and fields that are like, like you're constantly being downloaded and transmitted and receiving from everything all the time. So, anyway, I opened myself up to a spirit guide who is, I think, coming to me as sort of a character from. it's not the same Native American. I'm half Native American, but like there's this Native American guy that is, it's like a white dove, a white horse, and a Native American guy, and it's kind of hard to see because when I see him walking, it's also at the same time I see just a white horse walking in the same place, or a dove, like, but it's not like a normal flying dove. It's like kind of like an image of like a hand painted or something to like make a dove. I can't really tell, but I don't know. It's like super weird. It's I don't know. It's just like bizarre because like I've never opened myself up fully to like spirit guides, thinking that like the chances of me just making this up in my head is very likely. And I've decided, even if it is just psychology, if it's just my subconscious communicating to me through um, ritual and metaphoric means, where so it's giving me an ability to communicate with my like inner dialogue, like whatever's going on, I've just decided to like try it out, and just it like it is the funniest character, like I mean, and very encouraging. um I'm gonna be honest, I was taking some of that kratom crap, right? And I know I shouldn't take it, I know it's addictive, and so I do it during my near-death experience class yesterday. I was having a very strong, like, sort of, communication with it, or with him, and he said something about me being able to go through some trials or not, and I decided, I'm going to go through it. And so there apparently is going to be, I don't know how many. So anyway, it's like the first one I wasn't expecting at all. I'm like, all right, tell me what do I got to do to get spiritually enlightened, or like take the next step. And I mean, it sounds super stupid, but it was so clear. It was so realistic. He starts dancing around me and says that I have to go through the trial of pain, and I'm like, all right, I can handle pain. That's easy. And he's like, all right, you gotta quit using drugs. And I was like all drugs, marijuana, nicotine, and like immediately I felt it wasn't words. It was like that you know what you need to do. Like I know I'm like it was pretty much like just words, but it wasn't words. It was like you know what you need to do, and I did. And it was talking specifically about kratom and that 7-0 pills and stuff because I started out taking them like every like maybe like once a week, and it's and then I quit 2 weeks ago and started again for some reason. But um so it was just crazy, and I immediately realized that like the headaches and stuff and like the withdrawal from that is bad, but it's like if I can't control myself, it's just like if any of you guys have seen Dune, the part where he has to keep his hand in that box, he can't respond like an animal to the pain and pull his hand out of the box. Well, thinking about it, I was like, this is the same exact type of thing. If I can't go through the pain of a very simple withdrawal, like I've been through things that are much worse than just headaches and a couple of withdrawal symptoms for like 3 or 4 days. Like if I can't handle that, if I can't do that, then how am I supposed to feel that I'm ready for spiritual development? Like, so it's like, all right, like I'm doing it. This morning I woke up with the most terrible headache, and while I agreed to doing this, he like kind of was saying that I can like ask for assistance if I need it. So this morning I wake up, I immediately start like feeling my heart, because it was like, if it was like I don't know, it has like a euphoric feeling at times. But so I start like trying to like communicate, like I don't talk to it, I send awareness to that area, and then I wait for it to come back up to my mind, and that's like stimulating the vagus nerve activity. So it's actual like, I don't know, there's meditations about how just doing that, but it's like now I'm realizing I'm actually communicating with my heart. I'm intentionally sending packets of like synaptic information down there, and it's being processed and sent back. It's communication, and The headache was terrible, so I start asking the spirit guide if, he can help me. And immediately I see him dance out of nowhere, acting all crazy, and he has a knife in his hand, and he dances up, and it's like when this happens, I can sort of like imagine myself in this sort of like landscape of a desert, and it's kind of like my head is almost like popping out of the ground a little bit, but I'm also standing on the ground. It's weird, but so it's like it's not like I see him in the room. It's like I create a space where I like ask for like assistance. So anyway, and this is weird. Me telling this kind of stuff is like I've never admitted to having these types of like things going on, but and so anyway, but I'm intentionally opening myself up to this. But so I have this terrible headache. I ask for assistance. He dances up super fucking crazy with a knife, and it was funny. And he stabs me in the brain, and immediately I just start laughing. I was like, "What the fuck was that?" like, like what the hell was that? But it was so funny and so random. I thought the the humor is the humor's healing me, like, because it was the funniest fucking thing. It was like when your brain has a random thought, and I thought, why the hell? Like, I was like, I'm going with it. I'm letting this like happen. I'm not gonna take responsibility, but I did think like, if that was my own mind just doing stuff, why would like what is going on there? And then I continue. I'm like, all right, so we're gonna keep doing it. So like, he dances to the other side and he stabs me on the other side of my head, and I just start laughing again. Like it would, which is weird for me to be laughing to internal stimuli like this, but it was hilarious. It actually stimulated like a really funny reaction because I'm just like, I ask you for help and you come and you literally stab me in the head, and it was just funny. But about 10 minutes later, I noticed that my headache was completely gone. I mean, like 100% gone. I feel great right now. I have no headache. I have not taken any supplements yet. I don't take painkillers. I haven't taken anything, like I haven't even had like a big glass of water, to try and help with my headache. And I realized like either my laughing, my that euphoric boost of serotonin I got from how funny that random thing that, was, or, or he stabbed the pain and not my brain. And I need to start thinking more metaphorically about things instead of literally, because if I'm projecting into a spirit realm, then I need to realize that I don't have a physical body that can get damaged. If I have pain and a spirit being that I ask for help for comes up and suddenly stabs me with a spear in my painful spot, or let's say I deal with a like a hip problem, if and I'm thinking, what the fuck is this demonic spirit doing? Well, no, what if that spirit is actually attacking something that's causing pain? Either a tied up bundle of nerves, or I don't know, like a dark spirit latched onto a meridian center in your chi flow. I don't know. Like there could be so many spiritual answers that who frickin' knows. But it can also be like psychological. You could think about it like a part of your subconscious is aware of